Hi, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night in the Boot. And I'll tell you what, as a courtesy to all the viewers who ate a lot of turkey, needed to get in a little nap before joining us, we delayed the show about 25 minutes to your benefit. Wow, big stories all over the state. Obviously, teams that were practicing during Thanksgiving thrilled for a chance to maybe take two steps and be in the Superdome. And we had some surprises, some shockers, and some crazy scoring runs for some of these teams.
We did. And to put it for you in Thanksgiving, we got the whole buffet line here for you. We got the turkey, we got the ham, we got the mac and cheese. Hope you got your Black Friday shopping in, got you a little nap. We're getting ready to go here. Central was hosting West Monroe. The Wildcats looking for their first semifinal berth since 2008. But the Rebels, they weren't going to be easy to stop. Here comes Ryder DeJean. He rolls out to his right, looks downfield. He finds Trez Davis for a first down and more. Great connection there between them two. He gets up, says, count the money. Here we go. DeJean, though, here. This is kind of what the story of their night was. Lots of trick plays. They try the flea flicker here. It doesn't work out. He gets sacked, and it's going to lead to a punt here for the Wildcat. We see the Wildcat themselves hyping up the crowd as best as they can. Jackson Furman, right here. This is your play of the night. He's going to evade a couple of tacklers, bust through the seam, and then run downfield. You got players running all the way down the field to go congratulate him. And then you have the slow down, the stiff arm, and the touchdown from Furman. What a run on their first drive to put them up 7-0. Sidelines hyped up after that one. I was pumped up after that one, too. But the Rebels, they are going to have an answer ready to go. Backup quarterback now, Brady Guillot. He rolls to his right, throws left. He finds Caden Willis for a first down and more. Finally brought down right around midfield. And if it's not broke, Steve, what do we say? Don't fix it. Guillot rolls to his right, throws to his left, and that time he'll find Luke Valerie, who he'll take it and he'll run it all the way in for a touchdown. Defense dominated this first half. It was 7-7 at the half with the final score. Central 21-7. David Semino's squad is heading to the semifinals. They'll be taking on, we'll learn later in the show, between Neville and Chalmette.
A man who has had experience taking teams to the Superdome, both as a player and a coach. All right, one of the great stories this year, the Vikings of Airline High School. They were at home tonight, putting their 11-0 record, their number 2 seed on the line against Destrehan. And I'll tell you what, right off the bat, what you'd expect. Airline on a scoring drive. Kenny Darbo breaking some tackles, Darby breaking some tackles, and then Ben Taylor. Touchdown, 6-0. Vikings missed the extra point but had the lead, but not for long. Here comes Destrehan, the Wildcats' Jackson Fields, pitching it out to Malachi Dabney. Dabney up the middle, into the end zone, and just like that, the Cats catapult in front. 7-6 is their lead. Taylor back on the attack. The pass to Justin Woodfork. He gets the first down. Then it's Taylor handing off to DJ Allen. Vikings back in the end zone again.
Wow. As
they take the lead over Destrehan. However, Taylor looking for more, perhaps a little greedy here. He's going to be picked off. Damian Richard, deep in his own territory, comes out with it. Looks like he's going to be a running back on this play. Look at this tremendous return. Takes it deep into Airline territory before he's dragged down from behind. From there, it would be Destrehan's Jackson Fields handing out to their big man Malachi Dabney for the touchdown. He was huge on the night. He's huge in person. And Destrehan, 69-41. Airline's only loss of the season in shocking fashion. Destrehan was up 28-27. They scored 20 points right before halftime, and this game was over.
Marcus Scott's squad, they're in the semifinals again. After last year, they fell to Zachary in the quarterfinals. They weren't going to let that happen again. They go up north like they did last week, and they get another win. They're going to be tough to stop. They would be playing the winner of Southside and Ruston. The Bearcats looking to get their 7th straight quarterfinals, 6-seeded Southside in town. There's Jess Curtis looking to see his Sharks in his first year make a big leap. But here comes Jordan Jet Hayes, and they call him the Jet for a reason, because he can fly. But there he is, dragging down a couple of defenders with him. And a few plays later, Josh Brantley looking corner of the end zone. Jordan Parker rises over the defenders and brings it down for the touchdown. 7-0 Ruston after the first drive. Southside looking to respond. It's Ramon Singleton, one of their better players all year. He's going to take off, and he'll get into the end zone, and we're tied up at 7. Ruston's going to go back on the ground again. This time it's Dylan Brooks with the carry. He takes it to the far side, solid 30-yard gain. They're inside the 15. Here comes Brantley, though. He keeps it this time, and he bulldozes his way into the end zone for a touchdown, and it's now 14-7 Ruston. Ensuing kickoff, we're going to see an onside kick from the Bearcats. Coach, get out the way. Who's got it? Ruston recovers it, and that's a huge momentum booster. Jared Ball pulling out all the stops. Then it's Hayes gets into the end zone, and now it is 21-7. Still in the first quarter, a punt by Southside Brantley. Now he's going to let it fly. He finds his big tight end, Ahmad Hudson, and he's not easy to bring down. Finally does bring him down inside the red zone. A few plays later, one-on-one in the corner, and it's Darius James for the touchdown. Ruston feeling good, and they would roll in this one. They were up 35-7 at the half. They win 49-7. The Bearcats look really strong, and Jared Ball's squad, they're going to continue to roll, and they will host Destrehan next week. And Central will be traveling up to Neville, who took down Chalmette tonight.
Big boy football, and check this one out. The Chalmette Owls hanging with the best all the way up until the quarterfinal round, but Neville runs away in this one. They are obviously still unbeaten. 31-7, the number one seed, advancing to take on Central.
We got a lot more action coming up for you here in the show, including our Division I Select highlights coming up for you next. Don't go anywhere.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it? Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute. There's a flag on the play!
Welcome back to Friday Night in the Boot. Spencer Barrett, Steve Schneider. We saw the number one seed in the non-select bracket win with ease against Chalmette. How about Edna Karr, number one seed on the select side? A 1 versus 8 matchup. St. Thomas More, the 8 seed, going into Cougar country. And I'll tell you what, St. Thomas More, not your typical 8 seed. This is a program with a proud tradition, and right off the bat, first quarter, you see the touchdown there for the Cougars. A few plays later, Cole Bergeron hitting Parker Castile, and that was a 7-0 St. Thomas More lead. Later in the frame, Bergeron, I should say, on the read option, outrunning the defense. And St. Thomas More kind of surprised people, jumping out 14-0, but in the second quarter, Karr gets the turnover, and now they're going to go looking up top. John Johnson, though, finds his man, and that is a touchdown. Karr would respond with 28 first half points, an answer to the 14 that were scored by the Cougars of St. Thomas More. And Karr goes on to win this one rather easily after stumbling out of the gate. Yes, the man-child also getting into the action right there with the big catch for the Edna Karr Cougars. They actually scored 42 unanswered points, run their record to 11-0 on the season. St. Thomas More, that should say, only 14 points right off the bat, but nothing after.
Take you out to another battle between a New Orleans team, but this time a Baton Rouge team, Catholic, hosting Rummel in a rematch of last year's semifinal. Catholic's trying to get the ground game going early. It's Jaden Miles. He takes the ball for a nice game, but this would be a defensive matchup early. Rummel is also going to try to establish their ground game. Norman Taylor takes the ball, but he's bottled up for a minimal gain. Both defenses showing out early. Raiders got some decent runs out of QB General Buggage, but their drive would stall. Raiders on defense now. They're going to suffocate quarterback Baylor Graves. Here he comes right down Broadway, and that is a sack from Lester Johnson Jr. But the best play of the first half is a run from Miles for Catholic, who gets into Rummel territory, but penalties keep the Bears from going any further. So just like a couple of other Baton Rouge we'll see later, a little bit of a slow start to this game. And here comes last drive of the quarter for Rummel. Buggage, pass knocked down by Leighton Welch. Good defensive highlight there. First drive of the second half of the Bears, and Graves finds, that's Buggage. He's intercepted by, that's Jacob Bradford who would intercept it, and that would mean it would be 0-0 at half. But here comes Graves. He finds a wide open Bo Thomas, and that would be a 7-0 Catholic lead. Here comes Buggage, though, looking to throw it up. And another interception. That time it's Caden Jones who comes down with it. This is in the fourth quarter now, so that's a big-time momentum shift. Now, here comes Graves again. Can they get it here? They don't. It's Mitchell Harris with an interception, and the Raiders get the ball right back. And on 2nd and goal from the 6, a little trickeration from the Raiders. That's Kendrick Joseph who connects with Micah Green to tie the game at 7-all. We're late in the fourth quarter now. Baylor Graves is going to look over. They're going to try some trickeration of their own. That's Cohen LeBlanc who heaves it to a wide-open Amari Clayton, who scores the winning touchdown. The Bears go on to win 14-7. Catholic still undefeated on this season. They take down Rummel again, and they will move on to play against Karr.
I wouldn't have expected that. A 0-0 halftime game, and they had to go to trick plays just to get 21 points on the board, but Catholic survives the scare and beats Rummel. John Curtis surprised Acadiana last week, earned another trip to the Lafayette area in the quarterfinal round. Patriots were up 3-0 early. Jacoby Boudreaux, the handoff, drags a guy into the end zone for the score, and John Curtis at it again, up 10-0, looking to punch their ticket to the semifinals with another upset. Teurlings Catholic's Rebels, Alex Munoz rolling out of the pocket. However, he throws the interception, and the Rebels would only have a field goal in the first half, so not nothing, but 10-3 was your score in this game. And then Curtis in the third, Reggie Johnson, right up the gut. He is gone. And wow, Curtis scores 21 points in the second half and wins this one going away, 31-10. So JT Curtis got his team 7-5 and in position to win one more game and play in the Superdome. How about that?
A place he's relatively familiar with. I mean, this is his time of year. This is where his team thrives, and they're thriving right now. They went from being 4-5 going into this. Now they're 7-5, and they will play the winner of Byrd and Alexandria. And the final from that one, the Trojans, 12-0, 43-32. Probably the biggest scare that they've had this season from a team. And Byrd, a really nice effort on the night and a really great season for them. Don't go anywhere. We've got some more highlights coming your way, including Divisions 2, 3, and 4. Up next.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
Buying online is easy, but not when it comes to buying medications. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl. Kids are dying from these fake pills. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin. A lethal dose is smaller than a pencil point. Worse yet, medical professionals can't tell the difference between real pills and their counterfeits. Don't take anything that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Welcome back to Friday Night in the Boot. What a matchup this one was tonight. Sterlington against Oak Grove. Of course, Oak Grove dominant last year in the Division IV title game against Haynesville. Could they earn their way back at Vic Dalrymple Stadium? Sterlington would certainly provide a big test for them right out the gate. As you can see right here, they get their running game going with a big pickup by
Hagen Herring.
Herring, yeah.
For a
First
touchdown.
down in the red zone, and then closes it out with the touchdown. And so Sterlington quickly on the board, having their way against the Tigers defense. Here come the Tigers. You know they're not going to lack for effort and scoring, and sure enough, Jay Freeman, who was a big star in the Superdome last year, been a big star all season, he's the man, he scores, but Sterlington's coming right back. They're in the end zone. This touchdown by T.J. Birch, the sophomore, puts Sterlington back in front. Now it's time for the Tigers. Their quarterback, Jackson Bradley, makes one move, nobody home, he's into the end zone. Folks, this game was back and forth. What was it, 82 points scored in this game between the two? It would almost be a case of whoever had the football last, because the lead would go one way and then the other way. Here you go. Freeman again.
Putting defenders on their butts.
I don't think anybody even touched him. And there he is, standing in the end zone again, getting the crowd in the house all hyped up for him. But Sterlington would not go away. Check out this play. Yes, a halfback pass in the arms of their
Sean McNair.
Senior Sean McNair. And there's another play at the goal line. Of course, the pass on that one was Gavin Evans. Look at the scoreboard. Yeah, Sterlington has their way going in and beating Oak Grove, knocking the Tigers out. 43-39. The Panthers get it done. They're now 9-4 on the season. Oak Grove, the number 3 seed, is gone from the Division III non-select bracket.
Tigers have been in the Dome so many years. It's going to be weird not having them there, but it'd be interesting to see if Sterlington would be able to keep it rolling and get into the Dome. Another team who was in the Dome last year, the Union Parish. And the Fighting Joe Spataforas, as we call them, taking on the Kinder Yellow Jackets. Looking to see if the Farmers can keep it rolling as they have all the last 5-6 years maybe. And so the first quarter, Union Parish on the move. Braxton Patterson, he hands the ball off to Tyquarius Wilson, and that man is gone. Tyquarius Wilson, such a great two-way player for these guys. And later in the half, the Farmers on the move again. This time, it's Derek Dew who gets the ball, and he does the rest, scooting down the sidelines, and he's into the end zone for a 21-0 lead for the Farmers, doing what they do best. Kinder trying to have a fight back, though. It's Isaiah Thomas. He'll give the ball to Logan LaBeouf, and he rattles off a 64-yard touchdown run to get the Yellow Jackets within a single touchdown, but it wouldn't be enough. Union Parish goes on to win this one by a score of 44-14, racking off almost, 23 straight points there. So Joe Spatafora's squad still in it. They'll take on the winner of St. James and Pine, which we will see the score of that one later. But before we get to that one, we got another one here for you. We've got Jena taking on Loreauville.
That's right, the Giants, the home team, and Loreauville in the quarterfinals. Happy to be a spoiler if they could. This one could go down to the wire as Loreauville quickly jumped out in front. Their quarterback, Hayden Benoit. And the completion there, it's a good strike. They go out to the early lead. Then there's turnovers involved. That ball is coughed up. And the Giants, with the loose ball,
Another turnover.
get it right back. The Giants on defense. And of course, the team fired up when they get the football back. Now, will they be able to do something with it? Well,
The answer is yes.
sure. Why not? Step into the corner of the end zone for the touchdown.
That's Cedric Wilson.
Okay. Once again, Giants looking to add to it. This ball up the sideline.
Interior for living rooms. Oh, big time tackle though.
Braden Dakes, the senior, gets it down into the red zone, and from there, they're going to score. That's Cedric Wilson again, standing in the end zone. Jena, a close one, 18-14, a 4-point win, but the 10-3 Giants will advance. Loreauville, a great fight, but they go down and are out of the playoffs with that 4-point loss.
And that means Jena will take on Sterlington next week. And the other score we just mentioned there for you, Pine was looking to pull the upset on the top-seeded St. James Wildcats, but we get a rematch of last year in the Dome. St. James rolls 26-7. The Wildcats now 9-2 on the year. So we get that beautiful Dome rematch of Division III non-select, which literally came down to pretty much the last play of the game. So that will be an exciting one to see next week. Don't go anywhere. We've got some more highlights coming up here for you, including Division II Select with the likes of Istrouma, Leesville, and JFK.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
Welcome back to Friday Night in the Boot. Steve Schneider along with Spencer Verrett. We take you to the Crescent City, a classic matchup tonight in Division II Select. The Shaw Eagles against JFK, and Garland Gillen from our affiliate WVUE in New Orleans has the story.
We're on the West Bank tonight for our Fox 8 Football Friday game of the week. It's John F. Kennedy at Shaw. Last year in the playoffs, these teams met in the quarterfinals. Shaw won that game. Shaw working the ground game early. Jasper Parker with an 18-yard run. The Michigan commit gets it to midfield. Same drive, Mason Wilson on the QB keeper. Just gets in there for the 16-yard touchdown. 7-0 Eagles. JFK responds. Kenneth Chelsea breaks some tackles, takes it 22 yards to midfield. That will lead to this. Amani Derensburg to James Evans, 5-yard touchdown. We're all knotted at 7 on the West Bank. Shaw trying to answer. Wilson looking around, trying to make something happen, but fumbles the rock. Dominic Ruth recovers for JFK. Few plays later, Derensburg with another TD connection to Evans, 15-yard touchdown. Cougars take the lead 14-7. Right before half, Wilson with his second touchdown of the night, a yard out, 14 all at the break. Third quarter now, JFK 4th and goal on the 3. Derensburg back to pass, looking, he's sacked by Ronnie Miller, still tied at 14. JFK up again with the ball. Derensburg connects with his favorite target tonight, James Evans. He makes some moves, goes 50 yards into Eagle territory. Cougars settle for the field goal. It's online, but it's short. No good. We are still tied. 3rd and 5. Shaw's Wilson connects with Gavin Richard. 20 yards later, he's into Cougar territory. Same drive, Wilson fakes the handoff, takes it in for a 6-yard touchdown. Shaw leads 21-14 with 40 seconds left. 3rd and goal at the Shaw 6, 3 seconds left. Derensburg scrambles. He's sacked by Gibson, Lamine, and Caden Valentine. That's your ball game, 21-14 Shaw.
Unbelievable game. It's a shame anyone had to lose. Give Kennedy a lot of credit for going down the field like that and throwing the ball to the end zone 3 times. But we played great defense when we had to against a good team, and we weren't at our best offensively, but we did what we had to do to get the winning touchdown, particularly with Jasper being hurt. Mason Wilson picked it up and did a great job for us.
Shaw owns 1 state title back in 1987. They're 1 more win away from going to the Dome to fight for a state title. On the West Bank, Garland Gillen, Fox 8, Local First.
Welcome back. What a game between Shaw and JFK there. The Eagles with a great goal line stand, 21-14, the final there. We've got another epic battle in Division II select. Istrouma was taking on Madison Prep at Olympia Stadium, and this one was going to be a tight one. There you see Sid Edwards looking to take the Indians to heights they haven't been in years. But Madison Prep is going to start off with the ball, and it's a big-time sack by a couple of the Istrouma players. And then on the punt, a little bit of trouble, and Istruma's going to take them down in the backfield. And that would pretty much be the story of the game in the first half. It was 0-0 at the half. Now it was 7-6 when this happened. So could the Indians get in to bring them into the this was great field position for them, down 7-6. But the Chargers defense, they're up to the task. Here comes Darius Mack, who's going to get to the quarterback there and knock him down for a sack, and the Chargers would get the ball back here after this fourth quarter. This would be Kyrie Paul, actually, who gets the ball, and he picks up a first down here, but this drive would stall for the Indians, and then Tylen Johnson is going to get to work. He's had a really good season, been really coming on as of late. He's going to be running around, about to get sacked, lays it off to Amarin Sanders, and that's a great gain for Sanders into Indian territory, and then Johnson again. 3rd and goal. He's about to get sacked again, but watch how he just throws up a prayer, and Sanders answers it into the end zone for a touchdown, and that would put the Chargers up 14-6, and that would be your final. The Chargers move on to play Shaw in the next round. Coach Landry Williams' squad gets a win over Crosstown. I guess you could almost say rivals in Istrouma, and a great season for Sid Edwards' squad. They moved to the quarterfinals for the first time in a while, but that is where their season would end.
The Wampus Cats of Leesville, the number 7 seed, taking on 18 seed Booker T. Washington out of New Orleans. And Leesville, boy, these guys have been scoring some points. Of course, they've got a great running back. That would be Xavier Ford, who takes the direct snap, cuts inside, beats the Lions to the crease. He's doing the same thing he's done all year, scoring a touchdown. That one from 52 yards. Leesville up early. It was 12-0. And things are really starting to heat up as Trell Broom goes to Julius Brown, lowers his shoulder and gets into the end zone for 6 more. The Cats cruised in this one. Booker T. Washington, no match for them as they win this one 50-12. The Wampus Cats now 10-2. Booker T. Washington ends the year at 5-7.
And the Cats, the Wampus Cats, will be traveling to the winner of the Holy War between Vanderbilt Catholic and E.D. White, and that winner was E.D. White, who grabbed this game late. 23-18 was the final. Great win for the Cardinals. They'll host Leesville, as we said, in the next round, and a great season for the Terriers. Don't go anywhere. We've got some highlights coming up from Iowa, Franklin Parish, Opelousas, Plaquemine, Cecilia, North DeSoto, and the rest of that division as well.
Love did this. This is love's fault. And it hurts. It's devastating. but you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
The start of school means the start of new sports seasons, which unfortunately can mean injuries. Too often, sports injuries are treated with opioids, leading to addiction among our youth. And drug addictions can cause overdoses and deaths. If you're injured, ask your doctor for medicines and therapies that don't use opioids. And if you're struggling with opioid addiction, we can offer treatment. Opioid addiction is a losing game. You can help. Learn more at realhelpvr.com. That's realhelpvr.com.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Welcome back to Friday Night in the Boot. Franklin Parish looking to continue their magical run. They're into the quarterfinals for the first time in a long time. There's Adrian Burnett. We met up with him this week during the Spotlight, and they get off to a great start. DJ Neal get the ball, but no, is it a great start? It isn't. There's a fumble on the ground, and the Yellow Jackets recover.
Yellow Jackets swarm, that's what they do.
And there's a touchdown from Cohen Charles on the direct snap. He walks in for a 7-0 start for Iowa. But here comes Des Ellis. Ellis with the ball, and he will keep it himself into Iowa territory. And Neal with the ball. This time he's not going to let that one slip. He dodges past a couple of defenders and cruises into the end zone. 2-point try, no good. It is 7-6 Iowa. Next Patriot possession, Ellis. He needs 25 yards to hit 2,000 yards passing on the year. Well, he gets that and some more as he hits to Chauncey White, and he goes 95 yards. For the score. Put your hands up in the back of the end zone. Let him know you can cheer him on. And Franklin Parish takes the lead of this one, 14-7 after a good 2-point conversion. Second quarter now. Ellis this time finds Chris Addison. And Addison, the big man's rolling downhill. Can he get into the end zone? He's got a couple of defenders to beat. Bounces off one. Oh, just falls down into the 10-yard line. Traylon Martin finishes the drive, slipping in for the score. 2-point conversion was good. It was 22-7. The fans were having a great time, but the great times could only last for so long. Iowa comes all the way back, wins this one 42-28, ends Franklin Parish's season. What a great season it's been for Coach Burnett and his squad. I'm sure they will be back next year, but Iowa stays alive, and they will play the winner of Lakeshore and Franklinton, which we will see the score of that one later on.
Speaking of great seasons, last year, Opelousas' Tigers had a great one. Could they get back to the Superdome and get another state championship? They'd have to go through Plaquemine, the Green Devils, hosting the Opelousas Tigers. And Plaquemine early has a problem. That punt is going to be blocked, and the Tigers are going to swarm all over it and recover it, and that will set up their quarterback, senior Zacchaeus Malvo, into the end zone for the touchdown. Opelousas would score a 2-point conversion and take an early 8-0 lead over the Green Devils. Opelousas excited about that. However, the number 4 on the other roster, oh, that would be Tyrese Mosby. Here he goes up the sideline, getting it deep into Opelousas territory with that pitch. Want to take another look? Here he goes. Right down the sideline and right into the red zone. From there, it would be Mr. 4, Tyrese Mosby, coming right into your living room.
Taking the contact as well.
Not avoiding the contact, that's for sure. Gets it inside the 5 and then right up the gut. Pounds it into the end zone for the touchdown. Plaquemine is on the board. It's an 8-7 ball game. Back we go. Number 4 again, it's Mosby. Bottled up, not really. Breaks out to the outside, breaks that tackle, up the sideline. Finally, they corral him and get him out of bounds, but it's only going to delay the inevitable for the Green Devil star as he takes the handoff, weaves through traffic. There he is, standing in the end zone. Another touchdown for Plaquemine. They take the lead 14-8. They're still not done. This is a toss from their quarterback, Nicholas Victorian, to John Walker, the 5th. Only a sophomore, he scores the touchdown, and Plaquemine tested in the end, but they get the win, 35-22, as they should as a number 6 seed, 12-1 on the season. Opelousas, no dream finish this year, as Coach Zachary and the Tigers are done, 35-22 the final.
Tell you what, really impressive season for Plaquemine. Can they keep it rolling? Next week they would play the winner of Cecilia and North Desoto, and we've got the highlights right here for you. Cecilia taking another long road trip, this time up to Shreveport to take on the Griffins of North Desoto. Trailing 3-0 in the first, North Desoto gets on the board. It's Luke Delafield, keeps it himself, takes the contact, and gets into the end zone. It's 7-3. After a Cecilia touchdown would give them 10-7.
Look at this.
They're known for this. They do the onside kick, and it falls right to them. And that is the Bulldogs now going to go deep. It's Ellis Stewart takes the pitch, has so much time. Look how much time he's got.
And an arm.
He's in it downfield. And that would be Jermaine Davis with a great catch at the 20-yard line, and then give it to Braylon Calais. Calais breaks tackles, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. It's 16-7 Cecilia. This time, though, the Griffins were not going to go down easy. Kitty Thomas, one of the best running backs in this area, takes off and gets into the end zone for a touchdown. It's now 16-13 with some fireworks off the field and on the field as well. But here comes the Diesel. Diesel Solari breaking tackles, busting over defenders into the end zone for another touchdown, and it would be 23-13. There's another look at it, or there's a 2-point conversion, sorry. And the final score from this one would be a back-and-forth battle, but Cecilia comes out on top, 57-40, more points for you, 97 if you like it. North Desoto's season comes to the end, so one of the 2 teams from the Dome last year was able to get the win in the quarterfinals, move on to the semifinals.
It was like a frozen tundra look there, the Packers color uniforms and the steam coming out of the helmets. But man, what a job that Cecilia's done in this offseason. 18 seed, a win on the road, a win on the road, a win on the road.
Can they keep it rolling, though? They'll have to take on Plaquemine next week. And another team who got a win tonight that has had a really impressive season, Franklinton, a 41-40 win over Lakeshore, a 2-point conversion stop with just 2 minutes in the game. Coach Salt's team is heading to the semifinals. They'll be taking on Iowa, and that will be a great game. I'm sure we're going to try to have some highlights for you of that one next week. We'll have highlights of every single game next week. But don't go anywhere. We've got highlights coming up. Division 4, we've got some great ones. Riverside, Ascension Catholic, St. Edmund, Vermilion Catholic, and a couple of upsets as well coming your way shortly.
Buying online is easy, but not when it comes to buying medications. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl. Kids are dying from these fake pills. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin. A lethal dose is smaller than a pencil point. Worse yet, medical professionals can't tell the difference between real pills and their counterfeits. Don't take anything that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, Our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Welcome back to Friday Night in the Boot, the number 2 seed, Ascension Catholic, with a guy wearing number 2. A lot of good players in the state running around with that number on, but when you started with the network last year, one of the first guys you saw, Chad Elsie Jr., number 2.
He's a special player, and he was taking on another special player in Riverside Academy's Dedrick Lasty, 2 of the best running backs of this class, and there's a guy who knows a lot about winning late on in the state playoffs, Lowell Narcisse, and look at this. There he is right there. Lasty's going to make a run, make a couple moves, and get down. Did he get into the end zone? No, they roll him down around the 2. A couple plays later, though, no big deal. There is Kenrick Johnson, who's going to get swarmed by a couple of Bulldogs. We talked about a swarm of Yellow Jackets. You ever seen a swarm of Bulldogs before?
I wouldn't want to.
But here, they're back on it again. It's Martrell Henry Jr. who gets into the end zone for the touchdown and an early lead for Riverside Academy. But there he is right there. Chad Elsie Jr. is going to act like he's going to take a quarterback pass, but he's going to throw that thing, right? He takes off, and he's going to go a load of yards into the end zone for a touchdown.
He's really put on a lot of weight, hasn't he?
He has. I mean, he's got to be so much tougher than last year to bring down, and he was tough to bring down last year. We're going to see him again take another handoff. And guess what? He's put on a little bit of weight, but he is still
put on a lot of muscle.
That's a lot of muscle, and this dude can move. And he gets into the end zone again. It's now 14-7 Bulldogs. And I tell you what, this game was so back and forth, and this was awesome to see. As we're going to see a little double pass action. A throw downfield, and who's he got down there? Why, none other than number 12, Chris Becknell, the freshman, gets into the end zone for a touchdown. And now with 40-35, 12 seconds left, they tried it. Riverside fighting for their playoff hopes here. Swarmed up, going to try a couple of maneuvers. Hands on the head, can't watch. Can he look downfield? It's not going to work. He's brought down, and the Bulldogs will move on to the semifinals. Ascension Catholic, Lowell Narcisse's first year. They win 40-35. What a win over the Rebels of Riverside.
Figured that'd be a shootout for sure. Speaking of shootouts, Southern Lab, Kentwood, almost every time these guys get together, it's a good one. We actually had them in week 8 for our game of the week. It was a low-scoring affair, but it came down to the fourth quarter, and Kentwood at home this time saying, we're in our house, we're under the tower, we're going to get something done. Southern Lab's quarterback, Jerry Botley, feeling it right there as senior linebacker Cavante Miller is in there to sack him. The Kangaroos get the possession, but that's not going to work too well for them. Maud Bickham, a turnover. Southern Lab fans pumped about their chance to get something going. However, first play after that play, and Botley's pass is picked. Chance Briggs runs it back 30 yards, and the Kangaroos about to cash in. Sean Burton into the end zone for the touchdown from 10 yards out, and Kentwood would extend its lead. Burton isn't done, though. The senior plows into the pile here. 2-point conversion. Kentwood goes in front of Southern Lab, 22-6. Keep in mind, they only had one score in the previous meeting, so they had a lot of making up to do in this one. Kittens finally get something going on offense. Botley, the strike to Keenan Butler down the field. 3 minutes left in the first half. From there, Travers Norman, great running back. Big things in a small package. Through the middle, 20 yards for the touchdown. Lab wants to perhaps get another score before halftime. They're only 8 points down, 22-14. And here's the toss into the end zone. Denham Hunt for the catch. 8-point game. But Southern Lab kicks it to Jermaine Brown, and the senior, well, he wears number 6, and he's about to get 6 to go with it. Up the right sideline, and the Kentwood fans know he is gone. 83 yards to the end zone. The Roos up back by 2 scores. And Botley, all kinds of problems with his offense in the backfield. One of the best linemen in the state, LaMichael Callahan, zooms in for the hit. Kentwood scores 50 and gets the win tonight. Congratulations to Coach Blunt. 50-32 was the final. The Kangaroos now 10-3, one win away from getting back to the Superdome.
That's what a Kentwood Southern Lab game should look like on offense. Plenty of points, 82 in total. And another score here for you. Sorry, not another score. We got another game here for you. St. Edmund taking on Vermilion Catholic. The one-seeded Vermilion Catholic, the Screaming Eagles, looking to get to the semifinals. But here comes the Blue Jays, a 17-play drive and closes out.
17-play drive?
West to Blake Moore touchdown.
Oh
St. Ed up 6-0 after the failed two-point try. But here he comes, John D'Artes. The Screaming Eagles is quarterback, running back, whatever you want to call him. He gets into the end zone for a touchdown, and that was 58 yards at 7-6. D'Artes is going to call his own number again, and he gets in for his second touchdown of the game. I'd like to know how many touchdowns this kid has on the season. It's got to be at least in the 50 mark. And guess what? If it's not broke, Steve, don't fix it, right? D'Artes takes the ball again, and they cannot stop the man. He's into the end zone again. Vermilion Catholic would go up 20-6, and they would go on to win this one by a lot. 20-6, talk about 60-20.
Yes, not many folks have stopped them. 12-0 on the year and 60-20. Wow, St. Ed a week ago scored 78, then they had 60 put on them in this one. Also in Division 4 Select, one other score to update, and that would be Ouachita Christian beating Covenant Christian 30-14, the only loss of the year for Covenant Christian, the number 3 seed. The Eagles, very experienced in the playoffs and making it to the Dome. They win by 16 points. They're 12-1 on the season.
Don't go anywhere. We've got some more action here coming up for you. Final segment with Division 4 non-select and Division 3 select, including some close call games.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Love did this. This is love's fault, and it hurts. It's devastating. But you always come back for more. What else gets you up this early? What else makes you feel this wild, this ecstatic, this focused, this obsessed? Has to be love. It's in your soul, your head, your heart, your hands. You love the game. It's your nature. Nothing is more real.
It's called Friday Night in the Boot, and in this case, we went to the boot, right?
One of the longest road trips this round. Mangham traveling down to South Plaquemine, 5.5 hours from what I heard. A long one indeed.
And of course, the South Plaquemine Hurricanes, the favorite in this one. But of course, Mangham, the Purple Dragons, getting a big play early, as you see Creole Young kind of celebrating that. And then a score results in the turnover. Colby Casey in for the score, and so Mangham gets or draws first blood, but back comes South Plaquemines. And this is a scoring opportunity that will be converted. Touchdown right there for Jaheim Williams. The senior gets the score for the Hurricanes. Now the Dragons backed up deep in their own territory, trying to come out of there. And look at this, a breakaway run.
Colby Casey, the freshman.
Yes,
What
up
a
the
run.
right sideline. How about that? If you're going to make a trip that long, you might as well make a trip that long. And he has scored to get the Dragons back on the board, but I'll tell you what, the Hurricanes, hard to handle. Number 0, Jaheim Williams, almost scores again. He's right down there close, and then pushing it across. Hurricanes get back on the board. This one was back and forth early, but eventually South Plaquemine pulls away the Hurricanes, the number 2 seed, now 9-3, 42-18 over the Dragons.
So good to see them doing well again, reminiscent of those teams from 2006 and 2007, led by Coach Crutchfield, that won a state title. Could they do it again? They got to go through the semifinals, and they're going to have to go through the winner of Franklin and Logansport. First quarter, tied at 0. These two teams have bet up a lot recently in the playoffs, and look at the turkey there. In Turkey Week, you got to have the turkey run-out sign there. First quarter, we're tied at 0. Here comes Logansport. Jucaden Carter on the outside, and he's in for the touchdown. Early 7-0 lead for the Tigers. Logansport's going to have it again, still in the first quarter, by the way, and it's going to be Keaton Kaysen. See, we're drawing up some plays here on the sideline, Steve.
I'm admiring the helmets. Love those helmets.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I love those too. Keaton Kaysen, on third down, he's going to go to Caden Packett, goes up and gets it, and he picks up the first down. Same drive, second quarter now. Kaysen's going to be looking for his man again. Drops back to pass. It's Packett. Packett almost picks it up off the ground, and Packett takes off, breaks a few tackles, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. And that is another touchdown for Logansport. The final score from this one, they roll over the Franklin Hornets, 35-6. Next up for you, Haynesville.
Yeah,
another team up there.
We had the Hurricanes. Let's get the Tornado in there right after that. Haynesville, who was in the Superdome last year, and of course the top seed. Can anyone take these guys out? Well, we haven't really seen it this year, and here we go, right out the gate. Jaden Green, their senior running back, with the big pickup, and of course the Welsh guys are just trying to corral him and keep him from getting into the end zone. There's a little bit of a pile up, but it's not going to stop them. Handoff, off tackle, right into the end zone for the touchdown. That would be Yassine Metters, the junior fullback, and Haynesville's on the board. Tornado with the lead. Here come the Greyhounds, trying to get something back.
Whoop, there goes the ball.
There it comes, there it goes. Returned. These guys are opportunistic. Sometimes they can get points off of turnovers like that, and they're down into the red zone with that recovery. And then, once again, the handoff and the touchdown. Haynesville back in the end zone. Donnie Critton, just a sophomore, may only be 5'8", 150 pounds, but the halfback scores for the touchdown, and the Tornado is now starting to roll as we go to the second quarter. Deep ball, caught in stride. The Haynesville tight end split in, Kalen Payton, in the red zone, actually inside the 10-yard line. They push it across for the touchdown. And from there, Haynesville starting to roll at this point, and the fans loving it as well. Final score in this one, Haynesville 30-15 over the Greyhounds of Welsh. So now 12-0, Haynesville, one win away from getting back to the Superdome for another shot at a state title.
Take you out to another final score, really close one between General Trask and Jeanerette, 36-34, a barn burner score. We've seen a lot of these close scores, and as we get further on in the playoffs, it's going to be those close scores. So General Trask keeps it going. We featured them last week. We featured them on the Spotlight as well, and they're going to keep rolling. We might even see them again on the Spotlight this week.
All right, let's take you now to the Kentwood area. Jules Sumner's Cowboys hosting Bunkie. Of course, Bunkie, storyline all year long. Jules Sumner has put together a great season themselves, though. They were trailing 14-6 in the fourth. Kamari Warren on fourth down to Jeremiah Brooks, moving the chains, and Brooks 5 yards on the sweep. Panthers do bring him down on a 3rd and 7. The Cowboys working the clock with the run game. He delivers the first down. Then it's a fake handoff. Brooks with the pass in the flat inside the 20-yard line. About a minute left in the game. 14-6 is still your score. Brooks running like a man possessed right here. Powers through defenders, gets down to the 1-yard line, and that clock is ticking. 1st and goal. Warren dives. The pile moves forward. He breaks the plane, scores the touchdown. Sumner fans loving the rally in the final minute, but they still need a 2-point conversion or their season will be over. Warren hands off to Kendall Brown. Over left end, no. He is stopped, and the Panther celebration begins. They're headed to the semifinals. How about that for Dylan Compton taking that victory formation, running off the last 39 seconds of the clock. Jimmy Hillman's Panthers 12-0, moving on to the state semifinals.
What a win for Bunkie, and that is just such a great win for Bunkie. They take down Jules Sumner. A great season for the Cowboys, though. Someplace they haven't been in a while is the quarterfinals. Got another game here for you. Catholic of New Iberia are traveling over to Isidore Newman. Newman's had troubles with the Panthers in the past because they finally kicked the curse and beat the Panthers. I'll give you a spoiler. They couldn't. Here we go. First quarter, we have Eli Friend. He's going to drop back to pass. He's going to throw it up. That one's batted and picked off by, who is it? Number 2, that's Karen Eugene. And then Luke Landry's going to get to work, and Luke Landry has had such a good season, and he finds one of his favorite receivers, Jaden Mitchell, for the touchdown, and the Panthers take an early lead. Friend now trying to get something going for the Greenies. He's going to drop back to pass. He's going to scramble to his right. He's about to get sacked, but he gets thrown up, and that's J.D. Hidalgo who comes up with the interception. And get out the way. Well, we want to see Hidalgo get into the end zone. He doesn't. He gets down around the 20. Luke Landry's going to get back to work. He hands it off to Tristan Lewis, and Lewis pounds his way into the end zone for another touchdown. And like I said, I kind of gave a little bit of a spoiler, but
we had these guys in that game of the week against Notre Dame. A very impressive home victory. They've had a great season, and hey, they're for real, as you can see.
Another interception there, that time by Christopher Green. Everyone's getting in on the action. The Panthers are going to roll in this one. Here's Landry again, dropping back to pass near the red zone, near the end zone. He shuffles it over to Jaden Mitchell, and it's another touchdown. And the final score from this one, 31-0, Catholic of New Iberia. They're 11-1 on the year. Newman's first loss all season.
The number 2 seed is out. What about the number 1 seed? They were on the ropes. The Tigers of Dunham trailed, but had a huge rally in the fourth quarter, and they knock out Lafayette Christian 34-30. I'll tell you what, LCA put up a hell of a fight.
They did, and it was 21 points in the fourth quarter for Elijah Haven. 3 touchdown strikes, really impressive. One of their crosstown sort of rivals in their district, Episcopal, did not fare the same on a road trip up to Calvary. 52-10, the Cavaliers roll. Coach Rodney Gwynn's squad, man, I tell you what, they look really good coming into this year. Kind of gone under the radar a little bit after a little bit of early season troubles, but they look really good right now.
So we've arrived at that moment for these high school football players. They just need to get one more victory, and they're going to walk into the Superdome. Let's check out the brackets and see some of these matchups that will be epic as far as we're concerned with the state championship appearance on the line.
Vermilion Catholic, they'll take on Kentwood in the next round. Kentwood got that big win over Southern Lab, as we talked about earlier. And on the bottom side, a battle of teams who the last part of the name starts with C. Washita Christian they'll take another travel down to Ascension Catholic, and that will be an interesting one. 2 long road trips for Washita.
There's great experience all the way across the board in that bracket. These are all teams that have players who are used to playing in these situations. They could be fantastic matchups. The seeds, you could almost throw them out when you get down to this level.
And yeah, that's certainly true. We'll head to Division 4 non-select now. Division 3 select. Dunham, who we just talked about, got that big win. They'll take on Bunkie in the next round. Bunkie making the travel out to Baton Rouge.
What do you think that matchup will be like?
That matchup's going to be a battle between 2 really good quarterbacks. Elijah Haven and Dylan Compton, both really, really good quarterbacks. And on the bottom side, you've got Catholic of New Iberia taking a long road trip up north to Shreveport. Calvary's trying to defend the title. They need another win, and they're back in the Dome. I know those kids, they're hungry to get back there, but Catholic New Iberia has looked really good this season after last year losing out in the first round.
I think it's going to be an interesting matchup. Of course, Calvary was the darlings last year, getting that last second win and a state championship. How about this matchup? Shaw against Madison Prep. You got Landry Williams, Hank Tierney. They're no stranger to playing championship games. They got to win one more to get to a championship. And then on the other side, you got Leesville and E.D. White. Who do you think would take that matchup?
That's going to be such a great matchup. Xavier Ford is chasing history this season. We learned earlier this week that he could actually set the all-time sorry, not all-time, but single-season rushing record. He needs a lot of yards, and he probably needs to make it to the Dome, but he's built Ford tough, as I've said every single week. Get that man his NIL deal. Could they take down Edie White? I see it as possible.
How about this matchup? There's John Curtis with a 19 seed, just one win away from playing in the Superdome right in their own backyard. Edna Karr, speaking of in their own backyard, could those two teams end up advancing to the Superdome and play some sort of epic Catholic League rematch? Or will Catholic, who's the defending champion, and Alexandria, who's been invincible, end up taking the spots in that game?
I'll be interested to see if Alexandria can pull it off over John Curtis. It's going to be so interesting. And we need to look at Division IV non-select now. We saw Haynesville took down Welsh 30-15. General Trask had that really close game with Jena. Their run keeps on rolling. Logansport, they get to kind of do what Mangham did, but this time coming from the Shreveport area, a long travel down.
What's the distance from those two schools? You're talking about way up in the northwest and, of course, as far down as you can go in the southeast.
I mean, you talk about Division IV non-select. The best teams are quite literally up in the north area. So South Plaquemine being good again and being a high seed makes it to where they have to do these really long travels south. So it'd be interesting to see if the Hurricanes can make it to their own backyard.
I'll tell you what, if they can get that victory, then they're going to be in the Superdome. How about that? St. James is knocking on the door of another Superdome appearance, and look at that matchup. It was the championship game a year ago, one of the most exciting, dramatic finishes we've ever seen. Union Parish against St. James Wildcats.
And you look on the bottom there, Sterlington with the upset over Oak Grove, and then you got Jena, who barely survived Loreauville. Jena's going to need a much better performance if they want to take down the Panthers of Sterlington.
Franklinton and Iowa. Going to be a lot of purple and gold in the stadium for that one, as they'll be back there in Washington Parish playing for a chance to make the trip right down to New Orleans. And what about Cecilia and Plaquemine? A lot of green in that matchup, but Cecilia is certainly more experienced and is really on a roll. Can Plaquemine hang with them?
It'd be interesting to see. Tyrese Mosby had a really big game tonight. If he can do that again, and can you keep up with that Cecilia offense? I mean, they've been a buzzsaw this season. And also, another thing with Coach Salt, who's the head coach of Franklinton, he took East Jeff to the Dome and won it in 2013. As we look at Division I non-select as well.
This is the only one with the seeds, 1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3. How about that?
The only one who was able to get it done was, of course, Division I non-select, which we've said all season. The best 3 teams are all at the top, and then Central able to get it done over West Monroe tonight. It'll be interesting to see if Central can go up there and get it done against Neville. And then, sorry, that's actually wrong down there. Destrehan did pull the upset over Airline.
Yes.
A little bit of a mistake there, but Airline is actually not there. It's Destrehan, the 10 seed. So no brackets at the first 4 teams all make it. Destrehan ended up making it. Now they've got to go back up north again.
Apologies to the Wildcats after that great performance to not have them on that line. But we can't wait. We'll be having all the championship games here on the network in the Superdome, but first we have to see things play out and see which teams actually make it there. 16 great football teams will be playing in front of that audience those 3 days in December.
And we'll have next week for you 16, all 16. We're going to make that promise to you now. We'll have every single game highlights right here on the LHSA network. We'll get that done for you. And then we'll talk about some of these Dome matchups. And we'll have a preview show the Tuesday before the Dome. And that will be a show that I am looking forward to.
Been a great hour for Spencer Verrett. I'm Steve Schneider. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week right here on Friday Night in the Booth.